The Lament Configuration. The Lament Configuration is a golden puzzle box that opens gateways to a realm of infinite pain, pleasure, and really bad interior design choices. There's something perversely elegant about a box that doesn't give you treasure or power or even a cool demon sidekick. It just gives you Cenobites. Imagine finishing a Rubik's Cube only to have a BDSM priest with pins in his face appear and politely ask if you'd like to experience eternal torment. It's the kind of consequence that makes you wonder if curiosity isn't humanity's original sin. It's just the hobby that kills us the slowest. People say, don't open what you don't understand. But the Lament Configuration is literally engineered to make you open it. It's like the universe's cruel joke on curiosity. It hums softly, clicks satisfyingly, seduces your hands like it's whispering, just one more turn. It's a physical metaphor for every bad decision you've ever made because you were bored. And when you solve it, oh, the sound of chains, the sudden smell of cold iron and cheap perfume. The Cenobites glide in like tax auditors from hell's HR department, ready to show you the limits of experience. The true horror isn't the gore. It's the aesthetic. Everything in Hellraiser feels like it was decorated by an architecture student who had one semester of philosophy and a lifetime of trauma. And the box, God, the box, isn't even evil. It's just neutral. You summon hell by solving a riddle no one asked you to touch. It's not cursed because it hates you, it's cursed because it's beautiful. And you mistook beauty for safety. The One Ring. The One Ring is a golden band forged by Sauron to dominate all life, and to ruin the concept of jewelry forever. You know what's wild? The ring doesn't even do that much on paper. It turns you invisible and whispers in your ear like a manipulative ex. But it's the whisper that kills you. It's like carrying a sociopath in your pocket. Every time you use it, it tightens its psychological leash. You start by wanting power. You end up calling yourself my precious, in a cave and eating raw fish like you're auditioning for Hoarders, Middle-earth edition. The ring is a masterclass in subtle possession. It doesn't possess your body, it colonizes your will. Its true power is narrative gravity. It pulls entire worlds, armies, and destinies toward it. Frodo, Gollum, Boromir, each thinks they're acting freely. But they're just spinning in Sauron's orbit like doomed satellites. And the ring doesn't shout. It waits. It knows immortality makes madness inevitable. It lets you rot in slow motion while you think you're winning. There's no thunder, no blood, just a creeping addiction to self-importance. The ring's curse is basically terminal ego. It gives you the illusion of control until you realize the control was never yours. You're not the ring bearer, you're the ring's unpaid intern, doomed to work overtime in Mordor's corporate nightmare until someone finally throws you into HR's volcano. The Necronomicon. The Necronomicon is a book bound in human skin, inked in blood, and written by someone who clearly needed a therapist and a hobby. You ever think about how much trust it takes to read a book? You sit there, absorb words into your brain, and assume they won't rearrange your sanity. The Necronomicon abuses that trust like it's a sport. You don't read it, it reads you. It's the literary equivalent of malware. Every line is a spell disguised as syntax. By the time you finish a paragraph, you're not sure if you learned something, or if something learned you. It's cursed not just because it awakens the old ones, but because it asks you to care. It makes forbidden knowledge sound poetic. It tempts scholars with the promise of truth, then crushes them under the weight of it. The book doesn't need to shout. It whispers in a language your neurons secretly understand. The most chilling part? No one knows who wrote it. Maybe it was a man. Maybe it was a dream that went too far. Maybe it was the universe itself, scribbling its own suicide note. And when you close it, thinking you've escaped, the words crawl behind your eyes. The book lives in memory now. That's the real curse, it's portable. You can't burn it, can't forget it, can't unread the cosmos once it's slipped into your thoughts like a splinter made of madness. The Necronomicon isn't evil because it lies. It's evil because it tells the truth, and your mind simply wasn't built for it. The Mirror of Arised. The Mirror of Arised is a tall, gilded mirror that shows not your reflection, but the deepest, most desperate desire of your heart. There's a reason wizards lock this thing away like it's nuclear waste with a pretty frame. It doesn't kill you with magic, it kills you with truth. People waste away in front of it, Starved not for food but for reality. The mirror doesn't lie. And that's the problem. It tells the truth you can't live with. Imagine seeing your dead family smiling back at you. Their faces perfect, untouched by time, and knowing you can never touch them again. The glass becomes a coffin window. Dumbledore once said that it gives neither knowledge nor truth. But that's not quite right. It gives truth. It just gives the kind that curdles your soul. You learn what you crave most. And that knowledge brands you forever. The mirror of Arised is the emotional equivalent of a drug with 100% purity, one look. And you're addicted to your own longing. What makes it cursed isn't what it shows, but what it steals. The present dissolves. You stop being alive. You become a spectator in the museum of your own grief. The reflection glows softly while your eyes hollow out. The mirror never blinks, never fades, and never, ever gives back what it shows. And somewhere, deep inside its silver surface, your reflection smiles a little too long, as if it's the real one now. The monkey's paw. The monkey's paw is a shriveled talisman that grants 3 wishes, with consequences so twisted they make karma look lazy. This is the kind of object that laughs at your sense of control. You ask for wealth, and your inheritance arrives via tragic obituary. You wish your loved one back, and the doorbell rings at midnight with something that used to be them. It's not cursed because it's malevolent, it's cursed because it's literal. It obeys your words, not your meaning. It's a bureaucrat of doom. A cosmic genie with a maliciously legalistic mind. The brilliance of the monkey's paw is how it weaponizes hope. Every wish begins with that flicker of optimism. This time, it'll work, but you can't outsmart the paw. It doesn't misunderstand you, it interprets you. Like a divine lawyer, you can almost hear it sigh as it grants your wish. Whispering, "You asked for this." It's a critique of human desire itself, how we never wish carefully. Only desperately. We want, we grasp, we take, and the paw simply reflects that ugliness back at us. It's not just a relic, it's a mirror that grants you exactly enough rope to hang your own soul. If the lament configuration is hell's lockbox, the monkey's paw is its suggestion box. The portrait of Dorian Gray. The portrait of Dorian Gray is a painting that ages, decays, and suffers in your place, while you remain forever young and morally bankrupt. Dorian's portrait is the original influencer filter, except instead of removing blemishes, it absorbs sins. Every cruelty, every betrayal, every indulgence is painted into its flesh. While his stays flawless, you can almost smell the rot through the canvas. See the brushstrokes quivering with guilt. Wilde didn't invent a curse, he diagnosed humanity. We all have portraits now, our online selves, our curated masks. Dorian just had the decency to keep his corruption literal. The real horror isn't immortality, it's disconnection. Dorian splits from consequence. He becomes a spectator of his own moral decay. Horrified but addicted to the performance. The painting becomes his conscience. Locked away like an embarrassing secret. But secrets grow teeth. Every time he glances at it, he's reminded that beauty is just rot that hasn't started yet. And when he finally tries to destroy it, stabbing the portrait to reclaim his soul, the curse snaps back. His beauty drains, his body shrivels, and the portrait becomes pure again. That's the curse's final joke. You can't kill your guilt without killing yourself. The canvas always wins. The SCP-173 Containment Statue. SCP-173 is a concrete sculpture that moves at impossible speeds and kills you the moment you stop looking at it. Let's start with the fact that this thing isn't even alive. It doesn't breathe. It doesn't think. It doesn't wait. It just is. And yet, it demands your constant attention like a toddler made of concrete and hate. You blink. You die. You sneeze. You die. You flinch. And your neck goes crack, like it's auditioning for ASMR hell. It's not just horror, it's existential fatigue. Imagine spending your life staring at something that's staring back without eyes. Knowing that vigilance is the only thing keeping you from sudden obliteration. The SCP Foundation keeps it locked in a concrete box, constantly observed by rotating guards. But that's not containment, it's ritual worship. SCP-173 isn't a monster. It's a god whose religion is attention. The brilliance of its curse lies in simplicity. No complex mythos, no dark magic, just a rule: don't blink. And that rule becomes unbearable. You start counting seconds, your eyes sting, your heart races, and somewhere deep in your brain, you start to resent your own need to close your eyes. It's a metaphor for anxiety, for burnout, for the way modern life demands we never, ever look away. SCP-173 doesn't just kill bodies, it kills boundaries. Because once you start watching it, you can never truly stop. The yellow sign. The yellow sign is an occult symbol from the king in yellow that marks those who have glimpsed cosmic truth and gone deliciously insane. No one knows what it looks like. That's the first violation. You think you've seen it, but it's more like it's seen you. It crawls under your eyelids, shapes itself from the static of your thoughts. The moment you recognize it, you're done. Not dead, just rewritten. It's a psychic infection disguised as a symbol. The king in yellow isn't your average eldritch entity. He's art. He's literature. He's the play that drives audiences insane. And the yellow sign? That's his autograph. His way of saying, you read too far. Once it brands you, your reality peels at the edges. The sky looks wrong. Music sounds like memory. People start speaking lines you swear you've heard before. The curse isn't madness, it's awareness. You realize that sanity was just the universe's censorship filter. You weren't meant to perceive the pattern behind existence. But now you do. And it laughs in shades your mind wasn't built to translate. The yellow sign doesn't destroy you, it promotes you. It turns your consciousness into an antenna for cosmic absurdity. Congratulations, you're enlightened. And enlightenment, as it turns out, is terminal. The videotape from Ringu. The videotape from Ringu is a cursed recording that kills its viewer 7 days after watching, unless you copy it and pass it on. It's the original viral content. Except the algorithm here is supernatural vengeance and the engagement metric is your lifespan. What makes it terrifying isn't the ghost girl crawling out of your TV, it's the simplicity. You watch something you shouldn't. You die. The curse spreads through curiosity and reproduction. Just like every piece of content humanity's ever made. It's a critique of obsession disguised as folklore. The tape doesn't care who you are, journalist, skeptic, kid, it just wants replication. It's the ancestor of every meme. Every clickbait headline that hijacks your brain chemistry. Samara isn't just haunting you. She's teaching you how horror propagates. Every time you copy the tape, you save yourself and doom someone else. It's utilitarian evil, a perfect capitalist curse. And the worst part? It's boring. The tape itself isn't some jump scare montage. It's mundane, grainy, incoherent. You don't even know why it's cursed. That's the point. Meaninglessness is part of the infection. The tape doesn't punish sin, it punishes participation. Watch, share, die. The ultimate commentary on media consumption. You can't unsee what's been seen. And the only way out is to make someone else look. The Dark Saber. The Dark Saber is a black-bladed lightsaber of Mandalorian legend. An ancient weapon that turns anyone who wields it into both king and target. You ever notice how Star Wars pretends it's about hope? But the Darksaber exists purely to prove leadership is a blood curse? This thing doesn't just glow, it chooses. You can't own it unless you win it in combat. Which means every time you pick it up, you inherit a legacy of murder, betrayal, and awkward family dinners. It's less a weapon and more a political trap that hums. The blade itself is alive in that creepy, humming way. Like it's annoyed to be held by mortals. Everyone who touches it feels it resisting. Like it knows their insecurities. It feeds on worthiness. And if you doubt yourself for even a second, it drags like guilt in your hand. It's the ultimate metaphor for leadership, heavy, beautiful, and quietly trying to kill you. Every wielder thinks they'll be the one to break the cycle, to unify Mandalore, to restore honor, to be the exception. But the Darksaber laughs in plasma. It knows that unification in this galaxy means temporary truce before the next civil war. The weapon doesn't corrupt, it reflects. You don't become power hungry because you hold it. You hold it because you were already cracked enough to think you could. The Darksaber is destiny's scam. Forge your crown. Die by it. The Black Book of the Dead. The Black Book of the Dead is an ancient Egyptian funerary text rumored to grant the power to command souls, but only if you can stomach the cost of reading it aloud. It's not the same as the Book of the Dead your mythology teacher smiled about. This one isn't a guide, it's a weaponized instruction manual. The kind of book that doesn't just describe death, it participates. The ink is mixed with embalming fluid, and every word feels like it's pulling air from your lungs as you read it. Some versions are said to be written from the perspective of the dead themselves, each line a scream rendered into hieroglyphs. You'd think necromancy would be glamorous. Control the dead, raise armies, whisper with the ancient pharaohs. But the Black Book doesn't just open the door, it removes the walls. The souls you call don't want to talk. They want to return. They claw their way back through the language itself. Every syllable is a shovel full of dirt removed from their graves. And when the last word leaves your tongue, you realize something awful. The book's not channeling spirits. It's channeling you. The dead now speak through your mouth, your eyes, your heartbeat. You're no necromancer. You're a library card. The book has checked you out permanently. The Mask of Loki. The Mask of Loki is an ancient Norse artifact that transforms its wearer into a manic god of chaos, desire, and unchecked id. This isn't a mask, it's a mirror with delusions of grandeur. It doesn't create a new being, it exposes the one you buried under taxes and shame. The moment it fuses to your face, your inhibition explodes into confetti. You become every intrusive thought you've ever had in cartoon form, powered by the divine right to never shut up. The curse isn't the power, it's clarity. You realize how much of your identity is just repression in a trench coat. The mask doesn't make you evil, it makes you honest. Every fantasy, every frustration, every absurd desire bursts out unchecked. It's exhilarating until it's terrifying. Because once you've felt that kind of unfiltered freedom, how do you go back to being normal? You don't. You can't. You become a ghost haunting your own sanity, laughing at yourself through the memory of a grin that wasn't yours alone. The Mask of Loki proves chaos isn't external. It's what's left when you stop pretending you're okay. Thank you so much for listening and following along with the story. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you won't miss out on more thrilling and exciting stories coming up. Your support is the greatest motivation for me to keep creating.